Cronkite News starts now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday edition of Cronkite News. I'm Jordan Elder.
And I'm Brady Klain. Thanks for joining us. President Trump tweeted that he'll sign an executive order, quote, prohibiting immigration into our country. Administration officials are still hammering out the details, but Trump announced something just short of a full halt on immigration amid the coronavirus pandemic. He said the executive order will apply only to people seeking green cards and won't affect workers entering the country on a temporary basis. Trump said it would last 60 days, but it could be renewed.
The whole world has been affected by COVID-19, and there's no doubt the virus will put the year 2020 into the history books. I found out how professors at Arizona State University are crowdsourcing history for future generations to learn from.
It's an archive that spans the globe. A restaurant owner in Thailand with no customers to serve. People in India lining up to get in a store.
Just thinking about tomorrow.
A father and daughter sharing this uplifting song. There are now over 1,700 submissions from 5 continents in a Journal of the Plague Year, an archive of COVID-19.
We're always living in history, but usually we have the luxury of not being aware of that.
ASU historian Catherine O'Donnell and digital historian Mark Thibault decided to document the history of the coronavirus in the present instead of waiting until it became the past. They're building this digital archive and inviting everyone to share their experiences.
We're trying to build as wide a base of contributors as possible so we can include as many voices in the archive as we can.
People are actively seeking out and creating that raw material so that historians will have more of it in future, and not just historians, right? But people who just want to know what life was like during this odd period.
The archive is allowing people to document what they experience here in the real world and take it to the internet, where historians will be able to use it for things like textbooks in the future.
Different historians and different future textbooks are going to make different kinds of decisions, but there's a general trend among historians to include the voices of people who are not maybe famous, not policymakers.
We want to get people to share those things that are authentic and important to themselves.
So whether it's the dog you've been walking or the sidewalk you've been chalking, historians want to hear your story. It might just pop up in your grandchild's history class.
They are the fabric of history, and people will want to know about them.
To browse the collection or add your own entry, go to covid19.omeka.net.
The Navajo Nation continues to be hit hard by COVID-19 as the number of cases and the death toll rises. The reservation is reporting 63 new cases of coronavirus with 3 more deaths. That brings the total number of positive cases on the Navajo Nation to just over 1,200 with 48 known deaths. Tribal health officials say the numbers don't include cases for border towns. Of the total cases, 569 are men and 637 are women. The Navajo Nation covers parts of Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah.
With more families at home, local poison control centers are seeing an increase in cases since the coronavirus pandemic started. Cronkite News reporter Marcela Baeto breaks down for us how to keep your children safe and away from dangerous household products.
Because of the pandemic, many of us are cleaning our homes even more frequently than usual, using products just like these. Many of these products contain very dangerous chemicals when ingested, especially for young children who are now staying at home more than ever. Maybe some of these products are stored here underneath your sink, or in here, out in the open, in your bathroom. According to Banner's Poison and Drug Information Center, all these products should be stored up and away from small children, or under lock and key. Hand sanitizer is another important product to keep an eye out on, says Maureen Rowland with Banner.
With a lot of the hand sanitizers, they're colorful and sometimes they smell really good too. So we've always seen kids getting into these products just because they're more available.
Aside from the cleaning products, medication like these can also become an issue.
If you have young children, don't let them see you taking the medication. They often mimic what they see as adults. So I really recommend if you do have kids that are on scheduled medications, that you're writing it down. That would hopefully prevent that double dosing that we're seeing.
Now, if you do happen to find yourself in a possible poisoning emergency, first make sure that the person is not choking and then call Banner at 1-800-222-1222. Marcel Vallejo, Cronkite News.
The coronavirus outbreak has prompted U.S. Forest Service officials to impose campfire restrictions to protect the health and safety of employees and communities. The restrictions apply to all 6 national forests around Arizona, and they will stay in place through June 30th. Officials say they're taking this step to prevent the drawdown of fire and medical resources to unwanted human-caused wildfires and to reduce firefighter exposure to COVID-19.
Many of us might be staying inside because of COVID-19, but that isn't stopping Arizona environmental groups from organizing events to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. Cronkite News reporter Madison Staten explains what some of them are doing.
Earth Day efforts across the country are going digital, including right here in Arizona.
It's different because we're not connected with our community, but at the same time, I feel the connection, how everybody from their houses are still wanting to contribute to this day.
The day started on April 22nd, 1970, and brought out millions of Americans to raise awareness about pressing environmental issues. In the coming years, landmark legislation such as the Endangered Species Act went into law. Now, 50 years later, this global effort continues, especially concerning climate change. Moms Clean Air Force Arizona and Eco Madres has hosted live storytime events on social media in the days leading up to Earth Day. A discussion will also be hosted on the Moms Clean Air Force Facebook page Wednesday evening.
We're just going to be talking about advocating for communities to have clean air, especially for our communities of color, because we're definitely being the most affected.
Elsewhere, the Arizona chapter of the Elders Climate Action hosts a virtual town hall with other local partners, like the Youth Climate Coalition, to talk about the future of climate in the age of COVID-19. 18-year-old Daniel Casanova with the Youth Climate Coalition will moderate the panel. He believes Earth Day should be more than just a yearly event.
I think that every day should be Earth Day, and every day should be filled with decisions that we have to be taking, keeping in mind how can we be a part of the solution and addressing the climate change issues that face our society today.
Madison Staten, Cronkite News.
The Youth Climate Coalition also created a social media virtual campaign using hashtags like Why We Strike and 50 Years of Change. So we want to hear from you now. We asked, what are some actions you take to help the environment? So far, over 60% of you say you recycle. About 6% reuse shopping bags. Nearly 2% of you said you conserve water, and over 12% avoid harmful products. It's not too late to vote in our live interactive poll. Just go to our Cronkite News Twitter or Facebook feeds to cast your ballot.
Right now, the Arizona Cardinals are partnering with State Farm to help local food banks during the COVID-19 pandemic. The NFL will be delivering over 1 million meals to those in need. According to the Cardinals website, the number of people seeking assistance has more than doubled, while the number of donations has dropped. So the team will be distributing the meals to 5 nonprofit organizations throughout the valley. Last month, the Cardinals made a $1 million donation to the Arizona Coronavirus Relief Fund.
It's been well documented how much the coronavirus has changed the sports landscape, and none more than the NFL community. Cronkite News reporter Sean Rice talked with those who have been affected the most on the night before their big moment.
The coronavirus pandemic has forced the NFL landscape to evolve. The move to virtual interactions to prepare for this year's NFL draft is being felt by the players, trainers, and front office personnel.
Definitely a new reality. It's been a very strange adjustment period. During this time, you're usually going to be going out to teams for visits, and then they'll be coming out to you for workouts and whatnot. So now it's kind of just been FaceTime interviews, Zoom meetings, and whatnot.
For us, everything's changed. Our PT world has changed. Where we're having significant amount less clients. We're still open. We're still deemed by the state as a necessary, essential service.
It's given us less of a chance to overthink it, to go out and to be on the road and to question yourself just because the guy ran a faster 3-cone and because he jumped higher. I mean, again, I've been able to watch more tape probably than any year in my time as the general manager.
Due to COVID-19, most gyms are closed, forcing people to use small weights or body weight exercise to stay in shape. However, Colby Parkinson's workouts have been quite the opposite.
I've actually been able to work out harder, which has been nice. So usually during this time, like I said, we'd be doing workouts and stuff, and you want to be in, peak performance. You don't want to be sore for a team that's coming out to work you out. But now that can't happen, I'm able to kind of push it a little more in the weight room.
Just like the virtual meetings between players and teams, trainers are engaging technology as a resource to better their athletes.
We actually can do telehealth, and we have been doing that with some clients, especially even our professional athletes, because that's our unique setting in some aspects where we've done, hey, jump on just like this, and we do some work Zoom, or we've sent them a workout program. Do you have any questions on it? Can I talk to you through maybe some self-mobilization techniques to get you prepared for that?
With social distancing guidelines in place that limit team activities for the foreseeable future, those involved have made it clear they will be ready to play when the time is right.
I do know, we'll have this NFL draft, which, we can do, and we can do it virtually and have no issues, in my opinion. Beyond that, it's really something that I can't answer because I'm not really sure what's going to take place and really where we're going to be at as a country at that point in time. But hopefully it moves along quick and we're able to get back to playing soon.
I'm just excited to play football again. It's been, this whole process is super weird. You got the combine, then you go and you talk to 100 people in one day, and then you're working out, and then a whole lot of not football. And I'm excited to get back to doing what I do best, and excited to show the team that drafts me what I got and that I can impact the team early on.
Reporting in Phoenix, Sean Rice, Cronkite News.
The Arizona Cardinals will draft at number 8 in the first round, while Parkinson is projected to be a middle round selection on draft night.
That's it for Cronkite News, from our homes to yours. Thanks for watching.
For Arizona news updates throughout the day, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and find us online at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.